I don't know who initially kicked over the hornet's nest of racism this time, but here we are once again talking about the ridiculous subject of racism in Dungeons and Dragons.
This is a video from Arch City Comics, I believe. Here, Arch City Comics is a lot of fun. So, thanks. Go subscribe to Arch City Comics if you enjoy this video.
I am Adam AF, and this is the world famous Arch City Comics. If you're not already, please make sure you're subscribed and you've got that bell rung for notifications so you can stay up to date on all things Arch City. So this is the image that has been spread around the Twatterverse lately. It is the description of role-playing an orc from Dungeons and Dragons. It says, most orcs have been indoctrinated into a life of destruction and slaughter, but unlike creatures who by their very nature are evil, such as gnolls, it's possible that an orc, if raised outside its culture, could develop a limited capacity for empathy, love, and compassion. No matter how domesticated an orc might seem, its bloodlust flows just beneath the surface. With its instinctive love of battle and its desire to prove its strength, an orc trying to live within the confines of civilization is faced with a difficult task. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? An orc is a large beast. It's ready for battle. But according to the NPCs, the pronouns, the SJWs, whatever you want to call them these days, this is blatantly racist towards black people. Now, I certainly don't see it. But what do other people see? So this tweet is from, it's actually a bit of a thread from James Introcaso, and he is a game designer for D&D. He's also a pronouns. He's got the he, him there, like, that needed to be established. He's very clearly ugly white male. But he says the current and past ideas and language surrounding orcs, tieflings, and a bunch of other sapient beings is problematic in D&D and other RPGs. If your response is that they're fantasy, my response is it should be no problem changing it for safety and comfort of players. So, this is what gets me. All of these tweets from these kind of people, they're all white people. Show me one black person that actually sees this as racism. This description here. Show me. I dare you. Please do. Now the other thing is, this is not a new discussion at all. If you type in Google racism in D&D, you will find articles dating for the past 5 years or so. This isn't a new topic. I don't know who brought this up once again. Somebody wanted, to signal the NPCs to have them all come running and essentially help destroy D&D. And it blows my mind. It's a fantasy role-playing game. So first of all, fantasy, fiction. Second of all, role-playing, meaning that you put into these characters what you get out of them. So if you're seeing racism in these descriptions of these characters, you yourself are more than likely the one who is racist. Now this comes from a lovely young lady, another one that's got the pronouns in her bio there, Mackenzie De Armas. Now at least she's not 100% white, she's Italian, I guess, maybe? Hard to say. That part is not in her bio. So it matters that everyone knows she's a woman, but it doesn't matter, what her actual background is. Nobody really cares about that, I guess. She says, this is one thing I'll say. Yes, orcs and goblins and elves aren't real, but the people who play the game are. The people who write the game are. So she's saying that the creators and the people who play the game are the ones who are racist. She goes on to say, and this is the line that really gets me, you cannot draw a line between fiction and reality because they feed one another. It's a constant loop. That is the most immature statement I've read in a long time. If you are not mature enough to draw the line between fiction and reality, you probably shouldn't be playing role-playing games, or video games, or reading books, or anything like that. If you can't draw the line between fiction and reality to see where reality stops and where fiction begins, you have major, major issues. And I'm not even a psychiatrist or psychologist or anything like that. So she goes on to say, as game designers, we're responsible for ensuring that ugly, harmful realities like racial stereotyping do not make it into the fiction. Because if they do, and players see it and use it to justify themselves, the game only reinforces the pain real-life racism sows. My God, these people are so fucking full of themselves. I mean, come on. There's no stereotype. There's nothing here. I mean, I guess I really don't. I don't see the parallels between orcs and black people. I don't see it. I can't see it with my eyes. I can't see it with my brain. But other people apparently do. And I feel like if you do, then you are the one that has the problem here. I think you are an underlying racist. You just, apparently you can't admit it to yourself because your pronouns are getting in the way. Nothing here says that this relates to black people whatsoever. I feel bad for black people that they have to endure this virtue signaling from white folks, from usually they're entitled white folks, but the poor people don't really give two shits. Poor people probably don't play D&D either. It's expensive. But there it is. And this, the argument just, it goes on and on and on. I mean, like this guy here. Also, if you ignore these kinds of issues, you will end up like a newer BioWare RPG and not something good like The Witcher. Or newest example, Pathfinder Kingmaker. My God, these people. These people, they just never cease to amaze me. This person actually says something pretty good here. Secret Reptoid. Shit, I guess the X-Men writers missed the memo, huh? That's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of racism in your fiction as long as you're using it for good. And you're not just being blatantly racist. If you're trying to teach something, if you have a message, that's fine. I think that's good. We need to open our minds and open our eyes. But this isn't racist. There's nothing racist in here. I mean, please, somebody show me exactly what line in this description of role-playing an orc is racist. Please, God, put me out of my misery and just show it to me. Sound off in the comments. Remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share it out to everybody. Check out the amazing books that I have linked in the description. Some great comic books out there that you will enjoy. They are just about entertainment. They are not about trying to get it right and make sure that our orcs aren't paralleled to black people. Until next time, adios.